Well guys, I just finished up my dark glass bass video for part of my new studio that I'm putting together. I got the dark glass bass amp, and there was a knock at my door literally right as I finished filming my last little piece of B-roll. So what did we get? Moosey, what are you doing? Come on. Let's go see what we got. Would you look at that? I do believe that that is our electronic drum set from our friends at Donner. Let's check it out. Alright guys, so the drum kit is officially in the house, but we gotta do a little bit of reorganizing first because it needs to go in this room. And as you can see, there is no room in this room. So we've got to do some serious reorganizing. I don't know why he keeps laying there, but he loves it in front of his light. But yeah, so I have to completely reconfigure this room before we can even get to setting up the Donner drum kit, so let's start that now.
Alright guys, hope you're having a great day out there today. As I set up this drum kit and clear some room, I'm going to explain to you a little bit why I am making this video. Now, if this is your first time here at my channel, my name is Kyle. What I typically do is I play through all of the awesome high gain guitar gear that you kind of see me moving out of the way in this frame. I record it with a simple setup and I give you the unprocessed audio on your end. But today, I'm checking out an electronic drum kit from Donner. Now, Donner has sponsored this video, but I actually asked them to send this electronic drum kit out to make a video for you guys on this, and you're probably wondering, why would I do that? The reason that I want to do that is I actually am a drummer. Some of you guys know this, some of you guys don't, but I do play drums, and I thought that it would be a good idea to showcase a very affordable entry-level electronic drum kit for the home studio enthusiast who might be a guitar player. I know a lot of people who watch my channel are interested in more than just guitar, and a lot of them have their own studios and everything, or are aspiring to have their own studios, so I thought it would be a good idea to check this thing out. So I have been a drummer for a good part of my life, but I've always played off and on because one, I didn't usually have the space or live in an apartment where I could play and not bother everybody, and two, now that I do have the space, I still have to fight with my fiance in order to allow her to let me play drums and not drive her absolutely insane, because they are very, very loud. If you've ever been in the same room as acoustic drums, especially a house, they definitely can ruin your day if that's not what you're trying to listen to. So Donner has been nice enough to send me out this DED200 Pro. This is a brand new kit that they are premiering at NAMM as we speak, and I'm super excited to check this out with you guys. Some of the features of this kit are the DED200 module, which features over 30 different preset drum kits inside of it. You have the ability to adjust the sensitivity, the threshold, the volume, all sorts of different stuff for each individual pad. As far as the included pads, you get a nice kick drum pad and mount. This is not one of those goofy electronic kits where you just have the pedal and nothing else, and it's very clicky. You actually get the real kick drum experience, and they include a pedal with that. You get 4 different drum pads, including a dedicated snare pad with the rim shot ability, and then 3 different tom pads. You obviously get the framework to set this thing up. You get 3 different multi-zone cymbal pads, one for the hi-hat, including the hi-hat pedal trigger, and then you get a crash and a ride cymbal. So they pretty much set you up with a standard sized drum set, and again, that individual kick drum pad is a really nice feature at this price point. On top of that, they give you sticks, they give you a drum key, they give you a drum pedal, they give you a throne to sit on. A lot of these cheaper kits definitely don't include a throne. So the amount of things that are packed into this kit is honestly pretty impressive. I'm not gonna dive super deep into the technical features though, because honestly, I just wanna see how this thing sounds. I wanna see how it functions as a practice kit, and the fact that it's got a metronome built in. It also has the ability to connect via USB, so if you wanna do some serious recording with it, connect it to one of your favorite MIDI drum programs like Easy Drummer, you can do that as well and interface those two so that your drum pads now act as triggers for your drum programs inside your DAW. So I think that that's awesome. I think I've gone over most of the important information at this point, so let's get to actually checking out the sounds of these drums now that I'm done fumbling my way through the setup. All right, guys, so I have the Donner DED200 Pro all set up. The installation, honestly, was a lot easier than I was expecting it to be. I was kind of expecting the framework and everything to be a little bit difficult to put together, but they had each individual piece labeled so that you knew exactly what it was supposed to be. It all coordinated with the instructions. Nothing was missing. They give you everything you need, including a regular kick drum pedal, but of course, I had to go belligerent amateur and bring up my double kick pedal. They also give you a nice lightweight pair of drumsticks. They give you a drum key, which you're gonna need to make all of your adjustments on here because everything is actually adjusted via a regular drum key. And another nice touch is they actually give you a pair of headphones in the package that actually do not sound half bad. I was pretty surprised at how good these sounded. Wasn't expecting much, and they kind of caught me by surprise. So nice touch on that one, Donner, but we're not gonna use those today. And I definitely don't wanna forget to mention the throne that I'm sitting on is actually the throne that comes with the kit. So like I said, they give you everything. Of course, I've got this thing set up on the metal kit. We'll run through some of the presets and stuff. I'm going from the out of the drum module brain directly into my interface. So you guys are gonna hear the clear audio of what the actual module is reproducing. And I had to change my shirt to get into the right mood, you know what I mean? Because I gotta access my inner body. So with that said, let's test out the individual sounds and stuff going on here. I'm just gonna play a quick little beat and give you guys an idea of the whole kit, and then we'll go through and start messing with some stuff. All right, so first impressions, the kick and snare on this metal kit, the samples actually sound pretty good. The toms are a little goofy. They sound a little bit electronic, but I mean, that's okay. It's not a super high dollar module, so I'm not expecting super realistic sounds. But the fact that the kick and the snare sound pretty good for metal, I mean, if you're a metal player and you're buying this to practice metal drums, they sound pretty good. One thing that I did notice upon setting this up, I can't get the kick module or the kick pad to stay in place no matter what I do. I've tried a couple different things. I can't get it to stop walking away from me. So I'm actually gonna turn the kit around once this video is over, put it up against the wall, and hopefully that should negate any sort of movement. But as it stands right now, yeah, it's kind of walking away from me. So if my double bass is sloppy, I'm just gonna blame it on that. As far as the cymbals and stuff, I think the hi-hats in my testing are by far the weakest part of the entire kit. Like any hi-hat sample that I've gotten on this thing just does not sound realistic. It sounds kind of messy, so. Okay, so another thing that I do need to note real quick, the bass kick pad, the way that it is picking things up, I had to turn the sensitivity to the maximum on the kick pad, but after bumping the sensitivity up, it seems to be picking up everything. Now, if I could just keep it from moving around, I really think that that would pretty much solve any of the functionality issues that I'm having so far. Being able to set everything up, everything is set up where I'm comfortable with it. So if you guys are hearing anything else goofy as opposed to that, it's just me. It's just my playing not being a good or a tight player. But yeah, I gotta say, for the price point,
Pretty impressed with this thing so far. We have some controls over here on the module, and I wish I could get a camera to focus in on the module, but it wasn't picking up the screen at all, so I'm just gonna have to talk you guys through it. The module has a pretty basic looking screen, which that's to be expected. It basically looks like a calculator screen. There are different controls over here and different functions, and we'll go through those. The first thing that stands out to me is you have a 2-band EQ, you've got a bass and a treble, and then over here you have an ambiance and a volume control. So the ambience is going to affect like the room reverb and stuff. Don't touch that, in my personal opinion. The reverb on here, the room sounds on here, not good. They make everything sound really digital and messed up. Here it is with no ambience dialed in. All right, so that's with no ambience. Here it is with 50% ambience dialed in. In my opinion, that just doesn't sound natural, and the more you turn it up, the more you really start to hear like the digital artifacts of the tails of the reverb. But of course, that sounds absolutely ridiculous, so I don't know why you would have it that high anyways. But in my opinion, it just sounds best when it's dialed all the way down and the signal is like fairly dry. Let's check out some of the other kits on here. We've got a pop. Again, hi-hats, not very natural sounding, but that's to be expected at a kit at this price. Funk. I can't play any funk beats, sorry. Let's check out the cymbals, because I believe that these are dual zone cymbals and they are chokeable. So here is the edge of the ride. Here is the top. Yeah, completely different sound. All right, so cool. How about the choke? Honestly, I've never owned a kit that has choke on the cymbal, so that's cool. How about the other one? Pull down on it. All right, so personally, I think the functionality for the price point seems to be fairly good. Again, I was not expecting any sort of studio-ready sounds out of this kit. Here's a session kit. Okay, we tried the metal. Let's see. Oh, speed metal. I cannot not play blast beats. All right, the hi-hat trigger on the pedal, also a little bit overly sensitive too. If I don't have it like fully pulled down, if I let up on it with my left foot even just the lightest bit, it does register, so keep that in mind. You're gonna have to keep that foot planted or keep it off the hi-hat pedal. Here's the standard kit. Just went full beginner on that last part. All right, another piece of the functionality that I skipped over. How are the pads themselves as far as sensitivity? Here's the snare. So there's quite a bit of range, maybe 3 different steps of velocity on the snare pad. Not bad. Here's the tom 1. Really only seems like 2 steps on the tom. Maybe 3, there might be 3. And I noticed on the toms, the sensor is pretty much on the bottom of the drum. So if you hit that part even a little bit, it picks up the full velocity. So if you want to get the dynamics of these pads, you you gotta stay towards the middle of the pad. That's what you should be aiming for anyways as a drummer, trying to hit with accuracy in the middle of the pads. So that's, I guess, a good training mechanism, even if it's not meant to be like that, because if you hit at the bottom, you're gonna get full velocity. There are a couple of other functions in here that we didn't get into. You can actually record yourself. So say I want to record a beat and listen back to it to make sure that I'm playing it on time. We'll do that. Here's the record. Hit any pad. Okay. The player sucks, but honestly, that's the first time I've listened back to it without playing it at the same time, and the sounds are not bad at all, so that's pretty promising. All right, so let's go to song. They have songs that you can play along with. So here's let's try song number 2. It's like Doom music. All right, so we can go into the song, set the song volume, there we go, because I could not hear it at all over the drums. And we want the drums off. We can turn the drums on these songs off. Perfect. I'm still having a hard time hearing it, so we're gonna blame it on that. But yeah, you also get a click if you need it. That's honestly gonna come in handy for me because, again, I bought this to be a practice, or I got this from Donner to be a practice kit, a practice tool, so I can sit up here and actually practice like my paradiddles and stuff. So in my opinion, 500 bucks. I thought that metal kit sounded great. There were a couple other kits on here that sounded pretty good. Hi-hats are the weakest part in the sound, in my opinion. The fact that you get dual zone cymbals, both with the ability to choke, you get multi-zone pads, and the pads feel fairly good, especially at the price point. Most $500 kits, I don't think that you get mesh, at least from like the bigger brands. I think you end up with rubber practice pads, and those feel less realistic than these mesh pads, so this is gonna keep more of a real feel in line. Donner is launching this thing like right now at NAMM. I'm recording this as they are at NAMM. This thing is gonna be, I believe, $499 is their intro price on it. I know I didn't go over the crazy specs and everything, but honestly, I just wanted to kind of give you guys my real world reaction to this thing. I'm having a lot of fun. Once I turn it around and get it kind of set in the corner here, and get that bass drum to stop walking away from me, I think it's gonna be a lot of fun and a great practice tool for me. Again, if you wanna hook this up to your computer via USB and use it as a MIDI interface for other drum programs, you can definitely do that. I'm not gonna show that in this video because other people have already shown it, and you guys already know what your other drum programs are gonna sound like, but just know that you can use this as a tool to interface with your, superior drummer, with your easy drummer, with Crim drums, with ML drums, whatever. If you guys have a dedicated drum program that you use to program drums for your songs, you can plug this in via USB and use this as a MIDI kit to access those sounds as opposed to using the built-in module sounds. And last but not least, this thing folds up. So if you do have it set up like I do right here and you're kind of stuck in the corner, as I am right now, we can fold this thing up, and I'll show that as we walk away from the video. But that's gonna do it for me today, guys. Thanks again to Donner for sponsoring this video, for sending out the DED200 Pro. Let me know your thoughts about this. Do you guys wanna see more stuff like this here on the channel? I kind of consider this more of a drum set for guitarists, because if you're a guitarist, you want to learn how to play drums, going out and buying a full big acoustic expensive kit, probably not the greatest idea. But if you're somebody who is a guitarist who is writing their own songs at home, having a kit like this is a great tool to learn on. They give you everything that you need to do so, to kind of enter the world of drums, and it's not gonna break the bank, and it's not gonna piss off the neighbors unless you have the monitor turned up really loud. I'm gonna get out of here, guys. Kyle here again. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time.
You know what this wall is missing? Another amp.
There we go.